is up, everyone? It is Midwest Raider fans coming at you with another episode for our channel. Super excited to do so. Midwest Raider, we got Jimmy in the house.
That's right, Raider Nation.
We got another episode coming. All right, so as promised, we got some good content for you today from the Receiver show that's out right now on Netflix. We also want to talk about training camp. We want to talk some drama in the news. Get all in it today. We might even get a little heated because it makes my blood boil on some of these topics up here. So, and we've never really seen me get heated, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. He feeds off me, and we know I'm the hype man, so let's get it.
All right. So, not a lot of news, but just a lot of interesting topics to go in. And I think the first one will just knock out the list real quick because it's not super news, but I just wanted to kind of put it out. But I want to talk about Michael Gallup's retirement. Just real quick so we can get it out of the way. Some news out there, a little bit older news, but just an interesting topic because why did he retire? Like, did he not have a chance to make the team? Is he getting older and he just didn't feel like he had it anymore? We didn't get any feedback from him himself. So I'm just interested if anybody else has heard any news on that or anything like that. Let us know. I'd be interested. What did you think of that, Jimmy?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough call there. Like you said, you didn't hear anything other than he retired. So, again, is it because the competition's that strong that, you know, he didn't want to be a Raider if he wasn't going to make the team, or, you know, maybe that injury that he had, you know, so who knows? Obviously, he has good reasons. He has great stats out there, great football player. Wish him the best of luck at, you know, whatever his next endeavor is. But, yeah, just kind of wish we had some more meat to that, why he retired.
I was really excited to see him. I was kind of a big fan when he did play for the Cowboys, so I was really interested to see how it would work out for the Raiders. And so I am going to, even though they always say once a Raider, always a Raider. I don't know. Was he on the team? I don't even know. So I'm a little confused. I'd like to just a little bit more feedback if anybody's heard any reasons why he did retire. I'm just interested in that topic. So. Yeah. All right, let's get into the main thing that we wanted to talk about today, and that was the Receiver program that is on Netflix currently, so check that out. It does have a big slot on the Receiver. Davante Adams, of course, our star.
Stud.
Yeah, catching balls, taking names, and, you know, one-handing catching balls that are just fantastic. So we did learn a lot of a little bit of drama that was going on with the Raiders with the coaching, with Garoppolo was a big thing in the episode, and Davante's injuries that we really didn't know about. He was very secretive last year about his injuries. We knew he suffered a shoulder injury, but we didn't know the extent, and Netflix Receiver actually really showed the injury, and it was pretty serious injury to his shoulder that was a lot more serious than people thought. And so for him to be able to work through that and be able to lift his arm over his head, come back in the game like he did, it was pretty impressive. Also, we learned about the flu game where he did put up 63 on the Chargers, and that was a pretty important game too, but he was actually sick that game too, so pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, it was a good show. Good show. Watch. This worth to watch. Lots of insight, like you said, about our guy. Talks about other receivers as well.
Yeah.
Chiefs crap, but
behind the scenes kind of stuff is always pretty cool. I actually think the NFL should just make a show that's all about just behind the scenes stuff. Would be an interesting show.
Yeah, I think they get lots of ratings.
Yeah, anybody want to watch that. Mm-hmm. So if they're watching right now, I'd be glad to host that show. And
reach out. We're here.
Go sideline to sideline, every other team, mostly Raiders, but we'd love to do it. But the last quick news we want to talk about is the Garoppolo. That Davante just said Garoppolo was getting him killed out there, and I think that's a big reason why AOC got the start with the backup of Davante, because Davante was just tired of whatever Jimmy was doing. Garoppolo, that is, was getting him in trouble and getting him hit by, you know, everybody. He says he never got hit so many times during the episodes and shows, and I think he was just kind of fed up. And no knock against Garoppolo, but I just think it wasn't working between him and Davante. That's my guess, but, you know, what do you guys think out there?
Yeah, I agree. Everything you're saying. Obviously, they didn't have that rapport. That's what you need, especially, you know, those two key positions in the NFL on offense, wide receiver and quarterback. And like you said, he was taking more hits than he ever did, and, you know, just wasn't a good fit, so unfortunately.
Yeah, so they just never got on the same page, and they definitely highlighted the one where Davante's like wide open and Jimmy overthrew him, and That was pretty painful to watch, but they're like, he's not going to be that wide open ever again. As wide as it was just bad.
Until this year.
Yeah.
Until this year. Here we go.
Well, hopefully they'll hit him though.
Yes.
So in this show, though, the only thing I was disappointed. I really liked the show, but the only thing I was disappointed was they really made a big highlight of the 63-point game that we had, which was a big turning point for the Raiders. But I don't think that was quite the turning point for the Raiders as a fan perspective. I think the turning point was the Christmas gift that we got when the Raiders beat the Chiefs. They beat them 20-14, and not just because the Raiders beat them. It really showed that our defense, which the Raiders have not had in a long time, we have not had a good defense, a strong defense since like 2016. It's been a very long time since we had a defense that could back up. Back in the day, Derek Carr. Derek Carr's never had a good defense that could stop teams from doing what they do, and we saw that game that our Raiders defense last year stopped the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's huge. I think that was a really big thing that brought the team together, and it was completely left out of the receiver show. And when I looked to see who the executive producer was, and I saw it's Patrick Mahomes, it made a bunch of sense that he completely took that off. Yes, he showed the 63-point win. Devontae called it his fever game, where, just like Jordan, they put up 63 against that. That was a great game, and I'd take no knock to that. And we had a great time with some drinks too, but it was not the game for me that I was super excited to watch it in this episode. I wanted to see how they gelled in the locker room, how they talked about that game, beating the Chiefs. It's just a big task when you're beating the Super Bowl champions. And so I was really disappointed, and it just made sense, though, that Patrick Mahomes is the executive producer of that show and why they would leave that out of that. And I think that even that game was a big turnaround for their team as well, stated by Jamie, I'll let you bring that up.
Yeah, no, it's out there. Andy Reid said it was a wake-up call for that team, to get them to gel, get them into, that playoff position. I mean, that was a big game for them. They needed to win that, for that home field advantage, and unfortunately...
That was still in play. It was still in play mathematically if they would have beat the Raiders, but they did not.
Andy Reid said it. Kelsey's got it out there. There's a video of him talking about how the Raiders came to play, and he talks about if the Chiefs could have that momentum. He didn't say it in so many words, but he wanted that heart, that Raider heart that we showed in that game.
Exactly.
Is what the Chiefs needed, and if the Chiefs could have that, then they'd be unstoppable, which they kind of gelled together towards the end there. We're not going to get onto the specifics of some bad calls and this and that, but that's the Raider. That's the one that I think put us together. Nothing against that big win. It was a great win, but let's also be honest. It was a banged up Chargers team. They didn't even have their starting quarterback. And again, nothing against the win, because obviously we celebrated. It was a great game.
Greatly, but and we love seeing the offense and AOC and everybody do what they did. But like I said, I really think that defense showed what they can do against the Chiefs. And I'm not just trying to hang my hat on that one game, but it was a great game to see our defense, without help from the offense, stop the Kansas City Chiefs. And so I thought it was a huge game, and it was greatly celebrated for our defense to show that the Raiders finally have come to town with the defense. So that's kind of the way I took of it, and I was really disappointed not to see anything about. They didn't even glimpse that game or talk about it, and just completely skipped it like it never happened. Raider Nation, let me know. Hopefully you guys have some great comments on that too, to see if I have any backup on that. All right. Let's go into some training camp right now and just talk about some big things that I saw. And the one was the defense is looking fantastic in training camp. Jack Jones. Some of our safeties are having great potential. I have heard some rumors that we will miss Amik Robinson, which we did lose as a cornerback, but they said our cornerbacks right now are still working better. Epps wasn't fantastic last year, but they said that he's having a good training camp, so that's fantastic to hear. So hopefully they're gelling together as a unit and they can all help each other in the backfield, because they're saying that was kind of one of our biggest issues in the defense is the cornerbacks. I don't see anything Jack Jones going to handle business. He was on an island, and that's the way he's probably going to stay the same.
Yep.
But they said, Epps wasn't as solid as Amik last year, and I would totally back that up. But hopefully Epps is having a great training camp right now. talking about our defense was looking pretty solid. Everybody else looking solid.
Hey, you know what they say about defenses, right? Defense wins championships.
So yes, a little bit of rumors about Zeus and that whole thing.
Yeah, so that's a big question out there. Is he going to be able to, fill those shoes? And yes, they are big shoes to fill. I'm not going to deny that. Jacobs was a great, running back. He did kind of decline last year. When you look at the numbers, he was averaging 3.5 yards a carry. But Zeus came in there when he was in, granted limited, hikes there, snaps. So, but he was averaging 4.5. We talked about the line. You and I went over that already. We made some improvements and stuff. So I don't think I think those shoes are going to be filled. I think Zeus is going to handle it just like he should. We got the guys following him. Again, my guy, Amir Abdullah, I think is going to be a great strength. And, some of the rookies that we picked up and signed. And then don't forget Madison, obviously another veteran there. So I think our running game's going to be solid. I think Zeus is still going to be the number one guy. I think everything's going to go through him, but he's going to do a good job. And when he needs a breather, I think the guys coming in are more than capable to, fill those shoes.
Yeah, and they were making points that our run offense, our offensive line, was not as good last year as they have been in the past, but our pass protection was awesome. Like, we didn't have a lot of sacks last year. It wasn't getting rushed a lot. He was having some time to make some throws. And so pass protection. Now we have changed a couple pieces in that line. So is it going to be affect either one of those? Is maybe the running going to be better now than the pass, or is the pass going to stay the same? We don't know, because there is a couple new pieces added to that line. So we'll see. I think they're going to be solid no matter what, but it'll be interesting to see if it improved our running game and how our passing game will stay the same as well. Hopefully.
I think our passing game will stay the same. Like I said, I think our running game will be improved. Again, we got some depth up there on the line. A couple, rookies that we signed coming in, that we drafted there, and got some depth. That's going to help out the running game a lot, and they can pass block.
Absolutely. And the last thing for training camp is, of course, we still have that quarterback controversy. But it was interesting that I did see a little clip from, and most of our news is coming from just listening to some of the players talk during the training camps. And one person that stood out was Jack Jones, talking about which quarterback he was impressed with. And he did mention Minshew's ability to get out of the pocket, extend a play, and throw the ball. He wasn't knocking AOC, but he said that Minshew does that a lot more than AOC, and we've kind of said that in our videos.
If you haven't watched, go watch our previous videos there. We talked about that, yes.
But we did talk about how close they are, but Minshew is more of a mobile quarterback that can roll out, get out a little bit more evasively when he's being rushed, and get out of the pocket and throw it. And AOC was just not known. Now, I'm not saying he can't improve, and I'm not knocking AOC, love him, want to see what he's going to do this year. A little bit more establishment with Minshew in the pocket to be able to go around. What do you think?
Yeah, I 100% agree. Again, like we've been stating, all of our videos, we talk about the quarterback, and that's kind of what we said. I mean, when you look at the stats, they might as well be twins. Like, their numbers are ridiculously even. And like I said, our biggest takeaway, I think, was that Minshew could get out of the pocket, extend the play. AOC, he kind of stood back there longer and just didn't make that play. Not that he can, again, like I said, but
he was a rookie, and maybe he can been working on his footwork a little bit, which would be great. I'd love to see him, put it all together. Hey, like I said, any quarterback that's going to make us better, I'm okay with whoever starts there. So.
Yep, I agree.
So, talked about the defense, talked about Josh Jacobs, the loss of Josh Jacobs, Zeus taking over, talking about the running, passing, how that's going to be with the pass protection and running. And then went into the quarterback too. So I think it's pretty much caught up with everything in the news that we've kind of heard. Except for the biggest scandal right now that's in the news everywhere is Kermit Gate.
Kermit Gate, that's what we're called. It's Kermit Gate.
Oh my God. Now, in my opinion, and maybe people aren't going to share the same thing, this is not news. This is so dumb. It was funny. As a Raider fan, I thought it was great. I'm okay with whatever. I don't think it's poking the bear. Does he need ammo to come out the Raiders? No, we're the Raiders. He's going to come at us anyways. It doesn't matter. These two teams...
It's a divisional game.
Yeah, these two teams have hated each other for years, for decades, when the Raiders were good and the Chiefs were bad. So, yes, the Chiefs have us taken with wins and records right now and Super Bowls that they've had. So yes, whatever. But no matter what, it's a rivalry. And I get a little hot about this because it's not big news. It was a rookie making a rookie mistake, is who it was. Some fan brought something, and I'm sure everybody's seen it. So we don't even have to flash nothing. Somebody's seen it, and a rookie. I can't think of his name though.
Oh, the Air Force guy.
Yeah, he's from Air Force. He's a safety, but
yeah, I can't think of his name.
we don't even know if he's gonna make the team. I hope he does, but it's not
let's just
news.
put it out there. It really isn't news. And if we're going to talk about news, let's talk about the childish. We've all seen what the Chiefs said. Mahomes was like, well, handled when it's handled. Fine. That's a reputable move. Let's see what happens. We're going to leave it out on the field.
Yeah.
Give us your all, and we're going to give us, our all. And see what happens. But, let's talk about it. So it's childish. I can't believe it happened. It shouldn't happen. But let's talk about the ring around the Rosie. Should we talk about ring around the Rosie? Right? We all remember the play where they all stood there in the huddle, and then they started ringing around the Rosie. Why didn't they do that play ever again against any team? Because it didn't work? Well, no, it worked. They scored a touchdown on that.
Yeah.
Right? So if we want to talk about disrespecting, how is that not disrespectful?
Yeah, exactly. So these teams are going to do that no matter what. And I'm sure they're going to take a shot at us again the next game. And no matter what, win or loss, we're going to come at them, okay? And it's just what it's been for decades. And everybody talks like the Raiders have been trash forever. Yes, it's been a long time, but this is a pretty well-known franchise with a lot of winning in our past, okay? Not so much lately, but it's a very storied franchise. And no matter what, the Raiders versus the Chiefs or anybody in our division, it's a rivalry game, and we're not going to be happy about it, and we're going to talk smack, and we're going to do our thing as Raiders. That's what Raiders do. That's part of
the Raider way.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you want to get your blood boiling, go look up Nick Wright and see what he put on there, talking about the rivalry, the Raiders and the Chiefs, and how Patrick Mahomes. This rivalry goes back all the way to 1960. Like this was going on before Mahomes even came into the freaking birth. Thought about, this is a rivalry, and it means a lot to everybody. So I don't give a crap if it's we're 1-9 and we're playing them and we beat them. Like they're Super Bowl, they were the defending Super Bowl champions. This is a big game, and I think it's a turning point to see how we mesh together and we're coming together, and let it be known we're coming after you.
There's going to be disrespect in that game no matter what, because both of these teams, when they're on the field playing, they're enemies. And it's just like that. And then when they're off the field, sure, they can say hi or whatever they need to do. Good game. We're all about sportsmanship. But like I said, on the field, no. It's about what's going to be going on, and you about to get the Raiders.
That's right.
They talk about, butt whoopings every time. I don't think it's butt whoopings every time. Some have been really close games that have come down to the end. But, we're not even going to get into that. We go hours for that. But... we're good.
Keep it short.
We're just saying it's a rivalry. It was a rookie mistake is what we're going to call it, but I don't even think it's news.
Yeah, it's not newsworthy, and I don't think it's a mistake. It's a rivalry. It's a big game every year.
It's a rivalry. So that's all we pretty much got for this episode. Hopefully it was fun. You enjoyed it. We just want to let you know early, and we might get one more video out before the preseason here.
August 10th.
Yeah, August 10th, Minnesota. We'll be super excited that we happen to get some tickets, so we're going to be going to Minnesota to watch that preseason game. If any people else going to be out there, let us know. Maybe we can say hi, whatever, but hopefully we'll be in Minnesota watching the Raiders. See who's going to be that quarterback.
Yeah, that first one, that's what we're going to see.
See who's going to be responding. It's going to be a big, important game to see how the team's gelling and everything. So we'll be super excited to be in the stands and rooting for our Raiders. So
yes.
I'm super excited. All right. That's all we
share,
got.
subscribe.
Yep.
Almost to 100. Thank you. Everybody out there, subscribe.
Yep.
If you haven't, sign up. Let's go.
Absolutely. We like to hit that 100 subscribers so we can keep going here. And I think that's all we got for you. So as always,
Go Raiders.